They got second place in ESEA Open a couple of seasons ago, back when Valens was just basically just making a little farm team, and then they got moved up exactly or immediately to advanced, and they had some pretty middling results there. What I'm trying to say is that really anything can happen, and that's what makes this so interesting. Finally, we're getting into things here. The knife round to begin on Inferno. Again, my name is Ito if you're just joining. I am solo. I am all by myself, but that's totally okay because there's still a lot of fun to be had, even if it's just basically me against the world. Recon 5, they just got completely wiped on that knife round. Well, not the most confident of starts. It's fine. Regardless, Recon will be now starting on the T side of play. I haven't seen enough of their gameplay to actually understand what their mannerisms are. So it's going to be a big question mark for me. That's for the side of 6th Gear. Much like the last team that I actually casted, the side of Rebirth, I think that they like to play really patient, really slow when it comes to their CT pistols in particular. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, see how R5 try to play against it. Valens, of course, the big brain behind it all, the data analyst for Evil Geniuses. Pretty much every teammate that he's had, the ones that I've talked to, have spoken really highly of Valens. Sure, he kind of sometimes struggles when it comes to actual numbers, but hey, he definitely has the brains to back it up here. He's gone to MDL multiple times. He used to play pro. Maybe he can do it again. Leaning off the charge here, Battery. Again, kind of a preemptive peek over towards Banana with an HE right behind it. Actually be a kill going out over towards alt mid to start us off here, but I was more interested in that peek towards Banana and what it actually means for the side of 6th Gear. Considering now how they're moving up their setup towards A, I think this could actually be a real dangerous spot for R5 to start pestering with. They're down a player already, which is pretty huge in of itself. Valens with the smoke and flash on hand will basically need to find more than actually just tossing down the smoke. On the fly, he's going to toss down a Fnatic wall smoke. Battery will just leap upon that opportunity to find both kills. The round is basically done just like that. There's not really much of an opportunity for R5 to get back into it. And wow, okay. Battery with a 4K. I have no words. That was basically as perfect as you could have ever hoped for 6th Gear. Getting that first early pick when trying to aggress into apartments. You know, 6th Gear, that was that kind of slower approach than I thought, but I think that was more just kind of based off of how R5 were trying to spread out for map control early. Now they're going for something way more aggressive, something that I was expecting to see. See now, as they completely consolidate down towards the bottom of Banana, they will actually commit only 2 players, rotating one over towards A. There's a little bit of lag in the Go TV I would like to mention, but it's totally fine. We should be okay. Joel's, I think, is going to make a couple of Recon 5 players not okay, as he's holding close with this pretty beautiful XM. He's going to be at least rewarded with 1 or 2 kills. Pistols all looking just to contact out over towards apartments. Probably just a waterfall. Bomb down is their best possible action at the moment. Really, you can't hope for anything more. You can't expect anything more. There's no utility, not much of a chance, and not much firepower either. Complete massacre over towards mid, leading it to only 2 possible kills for Joel's. And they're all spread out across the map, so it might just be this single one on Jazz Pimp. Rounding the corner. Both teams just really patient on actually making contact, but there it is. The dam will break and the first kill will come through. 2 flawless rounds in a row for the CTs. It was more impressive to do it on the pistol, of course, but this isn't too shabby either. Lots of goose eggs for the R5 side. Freydude asks, who's my pick for this game? It's gotta be, I don't see any way that 6th Gear don't win this. I'm just gonna try to think, like, this could legitimately be a 16-0. 6th Gear, they have played some pretty decent teams relatively close. Most recently, Yeah Gaming. But, I mean, now that they're sponsored, not just the Swedish-Canadian names that they were opting before, this is a legitimately scary lineup. And I think they could do some real damage, make towards the top of MDL. But I'm happy and, open to the idea of being surprised by the ex-Recon 5 guys, because I do love a lot of these players here. Again, Jazz Pimp is one of my favorites to watch just because he has a really flashy style. As Auto Director decides to go over him right on my mark. But I'm going to go ahead and try to override that. This auto shotgun could be pretty huge here. Joel's is so patient. He's patient with it last round as well, but this is exactly what I was expecting out of the 6th gear side. Incredibly patient, not trying to take any early duels, because against some of the players on R5, they can definitely tell it's not going to be easy. Look at this crazy rotation in from 6th gear, however. It is anything but passive. Aggressively trying to bring people over towards A, but then they double back just as quickly. And R5 have just about made it towards the top of Banana. Going to be tossing in a couple of smokes. Flashbang in from Wolf. Does nothing but buy a little bit more time. Joel's still lurks on top of the yellow boxes. Gets that first one. It's actually his teammate to steal away the second. They can't do anything against the auto shotgun. Finally, they break that dam. But it takes a miracle from Valens to actually get anywhere onto the B bomb site. And it's going to be a complete slaughter once everybody finally gets involved from 6th gear. It takes so much effort. It is actually kind of absurd. Like the ex-Recon 5 guys, they had the right approach to it. Valens really, he did his part. Getting the double entry, not something that I'm used to associating the big brain behind this team, but, this is workable, R5. Most likely not in this round. We're going to see something surprising. It should just be a nice little cleanup since they're up against a couple of upgrade pistols with CTs. The collapse will come through just as fast. And Valens will quickly find himself alone against 5 members. Actually has the potential to pick off a couple. He actually took down one of the hardest opponents of them all. Joel's loses a fight to a P250. And with that, Valens will try to sneak on behind the smoke, but Battery will spot it. No problem whatsoever. Find that kill from Graveyard. We'll be dragging him to the Graveyard as well. And Frey, this is exactly why I said I have to give a little bit of a bias towards 6th gear. If this next gun round goes away, I mean, again, I really think this could be a complete whipping. More guns on the table. Valens still the only player in this entire R5 side to find a kill. Makes it a real shock, gotta say. And now there's some well-timed aggression in from 6th gear. I mean, it just... How can you play against this sort of thing? That's not anything that the CTs have done previously. First time they've been that aggressive, pushing through the smoke that's set towards top Banana, and then they just escape quickly. Sure, Castro, he sustained some heavy damage, but he can easily bandage up that wound and look to go on his merry way of holding down the site. Has a smoke, has a flash. That's enough to peel, buy a little bit of time for some rotates. There's so many options have been opened up. So many options, have been opened up for the 6th gear side. However, Recon 5, they have at least some sort of presence. Jazz Pimp, again, one of my favorite players to watch. Had a very quiet start, but almost everybody has on this T side. He's in a really aggro place, already halfway up towards Porch. But a strong setup is in place towards A, so I don't think Jazz Pimp can actually find anything here. He's going to have to basically take a 50-50 on which angle is being occupied. And if he gets unlucky, then round's basically over. This is a complete turning point. And R5, how they're setting up for it is basically just biding their time, hoping that they win a fight. And there you have it. Jazz Pimp finally gets one on the board here, but he didn't check pit, and Joel's is easily able to trade that one out. There's another kill from Valens as he's over towards Arch. But now, as they enter onto the B bomb site, those fights need to happen immediately. And they don't, so, I mean, it's all over. Recon 5, they burned down the clock to the very last second, but there were so many conditions that had to be met for Recon 5 to actually win that round. And since they weren't, it's going to be a pretty brutalizing loss. Probably in their best interest to hold on to this gun that they have and maybe half buy around it. Wow, they have brighter ideas. I never thought a team that Valens is spearheading would go for such a utility-light approach. But here we have it. 4 AKs and 1 Galil. Feng will be the one taking the hit just to get a little bit more grenades on his belt. Scary times. Recon 5, this... I want to say it's a must-win gun round, but I suppose there's a chance for a comeback at any point. Sixth gear, they are just so smothering at the moment. Again, as I was just talking about what was happening and thinking about what was happening over towards mid, there's already been a push down banana, and two players have made it their home. There's no fight back from Recon 5, and to be honest, quite frankly, they can't do anything. There's no early Molotovs that they can abuse. Feng actually will have a molly. He'll toss that out over towards tree. Wolf. Nice little smoke on through. Nothing they can do. Again, just like the door is closed right on R5's face. And it's going to require a miracle play just to strike even, first off, but then actually win it out. Smoke over towards, I believe, Moto and Pit. Battery watches the angle. Strong, strong hit from him. Waiting for the flash from his teammate. Actually misses that shot, but is given another chance at life. Jules, meanwhile, will hold down from sight. But again, this A setup is so strong. Where basically the only way it could crumble is by whiffing a couple of shots like that. Battery, some uncharacteristic misses. Actually give an opportunity for Recon 5 to pick up the round. It's a bit closer than you would have expected on paper, but it does go the way that you might expect at the end of it. 6-0. Gigantic goose egg still on the screen for the ex-Recon 5. Pistols is all that they have. Most of them, or actually all of them, excuse me, are upgraded. Battery. What is this? 6th gear. Again, I was just praising the kind of passive approach that they had to a lot of their rounds, and suddenly they're just busting out with something like this. They can change the pace on a whim. Oh, it's just so, again, brutalizing. Whatever. That was a throwaway. Or at least that's what I'm sure Recon 5 are trying to say to themselves to quell their fears. There's a lot to be scared of. Ops back on the table for both teams here. Jet will pick one up, look for a contest early towards mid. There actually is a fight. Battery's pushing down alongside his teammate. I believe that's Vec. Lots of early ground control taken, and right on time as well. You see 6th gear have now decided to completely give up top banana control as Recon 5 began fighting for it a bit more. And right on that note, they decide to pincer down towards mid. So, you know, they give up one spot and then they look to take another. Lots of heavy damage sustained on the T side. Makes it incredibly difficult to kind of budge out of this neutral game. They had that pit going for them, but it's no longer present. And once again, we're in kind of this situational dilemma for R5. At this point, I'm wondering if their best interest is to just set up for a B hit or something. They have no clue on how 6th gear are playing this, but it's most likely a 2-2 split. And, well, a lot of the time they'd be correct. That's starting to change, however. Battery has some second thoughts about actually shifting. He will indeed choose to stay over towards A. Clock is starting to tick out. They need to make their move soon. And it will eventually come into play. Wolf just will wait for a Molotov come out over towards triple, but it doesn't come through. That's a free kill from him, and probably just a second one as well. Feng is watching the angle, watching for any peeks through, but his teammate has Wolf's back. Just, there's nothing they can do, man. This is disgusting. When I said this could be a 16-0, just based on how 6th gear have played some of these teams close previously, this is exactly what I mean. Don't get me wrong, R5 have a lot of good parts, but when two players are 0-8, you're going to need to require a bit of an ignition. Battery will go ahead and toss the first flash right in towards mid. And a little HE cleanup over towards banana. What can you say? It's already done. There's a player who left the server. I think 6th gear are like, all right, let's just go ahead and call this ours now. As I say that, my binds just completely stopped working, and I can't actually spectate Jazz Pimp at all. So let's just go ahead and use our imagination. It's him against one player. This round actually getting a lot closer than I figured it would. But Jazz Pimp, he's already gotten two. I want to go ahead and bet my money on him, but I'm not sure exactly how likely that is. We've got the bomb down. Wolf, again, rejoining the server. And by the numbers, I mean, by all means, Battery should be able to win this, but with an op, that P250 is probably going to be his best interest, just to stick with that gun. He realizes it as well. Chablis just tapped the bomb, not looking the right direction. Jaspimp holds the corner. Oh, so patient from him. What a free round. Jaspimp in the 1-on-3 manages to trade out both of his teammates and actually find the round too. Sure, you can partially blame that on a player dropping from 6th gear, but all in all, that was impressive. A little bit of a pause. Recon 5, at least they get their first round, but it takes a lot of elbow grease to actually just kind of break past that neutral. I'm not happy with it, and I don't think it's a sustainable way to win them. You can't always rely on players like Jaspimp to go absolutely massive, but it's a start. They're going to have to obviously buy down everything they can. Freydude is saying 16-8 incoming. If you're right, I will buy you dinner. If you're actually correct, that's a 16-8 in favor of Recon 5. I will buy you dinner, and I will PayPal you $50. Or not and. I'm not that rich. That is how confident I am that it's not going to end up that way. Look, 6th gear are right back on to their crap. They're just pushing down, looking into alt mid. This is incredibly dangerous to do, especially off of how R5 have been playing these early rounds. Like, Battery, I don't know what exactly possesses him to go for something like that, but he somehow doesn't get punished for it. An emphasis on B. Wolf will just ask for a flash in. Peeks towards the top of Banana, doesn't spot anything, but he knows that players could be lurking behind that half wall, so he won't try to overstay his welcome. Smoke CT. Surely 6th gear have to realize that this is 99% a fake. There's no reason that R5 would go for an exec that early. With that, R5 actually find that first kill. It's traded out quickly by Vec, but it's kind of par for the course. Sometimes it just kind of is like that. Battery gets another one. And again, like I was thinking, it's very unlikely that Recon 5 actually managed to get out of this round further unscathed. This setup, once again, is being utilized once more from 6th gear. And it's ironclad. It really is ironclad. Battery, even if he dies, still has Joel's to hold the corner, hold the line. And although Battery will go down, Joel's actually can't hold the line. There's a little bit of lag here, but maybe a little bit of brain lag on some of these players. Actually give up a couple of these kills. Feng is stuck in a 1v2 this time. He isolates one fight, but it's not good enough. Frey, that is actually the Go TV skipping. I'm going to go ahead and toss it to me real quick because I got a new IP. I'm going to go ahead and toss it to this new IP real quick, and I don't want to leak it, so give me a moment. I'm dabbing for you. Well, one moment, please. There we are. Okay, we should be back. Sorry about that. I just got an alternate Go TV since this one was lagging its butt off. Or fine. And Freydude, yeah, I'm sorry. I guess you're starving tonight. That is how confident I was that 6th gear would not give up that 9th round. Good early HE in that fight for a Banana is starting to become a little bit more lethal from both sides of the equation. However, 6th gear will make it a quick subtraction problem. And we'll subtract a couple of players from the round. And R5, they're down to R3. Fugly, Jaspimp, and Jet. The only ones standing, and these are players that I feel like I've probably casted the most. So, you know, at least I have my bias in that respect. Okay, so Molotov out, flushes porch side. But you see, that's actually some pretty good information. Fugly seeing that no one actually peeked out from porch means that it's 99% going to be a player sitting on balk and another in pit or something in the sort. Or they're just going to go back to that default that has been doing them so well. They're sitting on this brackets control in 6th gear. They're starting to actually run away from the B bomb site. You see how bomb is still kind of handled towards the bottom of Banana. 50-50. Won by Vec. kind of is the final nail in the coffin, to be completely honest. Again, one of those scenarios where you're going to have to see absolute magic come through. What's their best opportunity at this point? Saving their guns. Almost surely. But I'll be honest, I don't think either of these guns are exactly secured as safe. Jet is basically a walking $6,000 at the moment, and I'm pretty sure 60 are going to look to chase this one down. Their money isn't incredible. Now I'll be damned. They actually are just going to hold on to it. They don't want to give up anything. Can't be overstated just how scary of a scenario this is for Recon 5. Jet's still yet to find a kill in this game, but you know that sort of thing happens. He's a very flashy player. From my experience of casting him, he can just have some pretty insane games, and then the next he can struggle in some scenarios. Well, a lot of time he does very well, so I mean, no dice to him. 6th gear, as I say that, decided to kind of feed 2 players down over towards mid and right into the belly of the beast. But Jules will fight back, get 2 of his own. Also equally as important is a response being made by Valens, who just kind of tosses a smoke over towards Arch side, and it's a free kill for Battery. There's no flash, no nothing. And Jet is once again found by himself. Minute and 10 on the clock. This round has moved incredibly quickly, and I don't think it's going to get any better. It's something I've parroted for a while, but it always does seem to kind of seem true to me, is that stomps are the most difficult things to cast. At times, you're just going to have to require and rely a lot on storylines, past history, to actually, make you believe that the other team has a chance. But I gotta say, it's just, at this point, it's hard to deny how good 6th gear are. They are completely trained for this, and Recon 5 are just struggling to get past the starting line. And they change up their pace oh so much as well. Like Battery, you saw how previously, just a couple of rounds prior, he was smoking and looking towards alt mid. Now it's actually going to be Joel's peeking out from apartments. There's a nade kill in the mix of there somewhere. It's crazy. They just change up what they want to do every round, and they seem to have pretty good success at it. Fang, at least we'll try to get one back in favor of his team, but the artillery is really not there. Recon 5, probably now at 12-1. Might actually be given a free kill in form of Valens, but he doesn't have a gun. Castro's heard that. Gonna be on the prowl, looking to chase down Valens. Still a minute on the clock. Valens could burn down this clock, trying to eke out a kill if he wanted. Oh, there we are. Very nice of him to let Valens get the bomb down first. Bit of spray down. Castro is gonna be working on his spray control. Whoa, Battery, you're just gonna do that to him? You're just gonna steal the defuse? It's really messed up, man. Really messed up. 12-1. This is just absolutely brutalizing. I mean, this is just too bad, man. I can't even understand. I mean, they're just getting so confident in 6th gear. Look at this. Battery this round is going to, considering he has a smoke out, he's going to smoke and try to push alt mid. Yep, there he is. Or no, he isn't. Oh, he's going to try to be a bit of a ninja about this one. Sneaky play. I like it. But I also like a little bit more emphasis again being brought out from the T side over towards Banana. Banana is always the most interesting part of the map to focus on. What is this? They're contesting it! No flash, no nothing! And it still works out! What in the hell are they doing? 6th gear, what do you eat for breakfast, my man? That is just so insanely abrasive. I don't even know. That is the kind of play that you only make when you're up 12-1. Just full confidence, man. This has been such an unreasonably unbalanced game. But stuff like that just kind of shows off why 6th gear just are really I mean, what can you say that hasn't already been said? I sound like a broken record. But it's the same stories, just in a different round. Crazy play. Over the top, probably unnecessary. At least this time it's getting punished. Quick on the rotate, however, will be Battery, who somehow wins that fight. Again, I'm just lost for words. It's Fugly against 2. And 20-ish seconds left on the time. He'll go down before that ticks down to even the 15-second mark. And this is looking to be another incredibly one-sided game, possibly a 16-1 on our hands. It all comes down to this last one of this first half. I want to believe, but feels like I might need a little bit of motivation from Recon 5. Jet still yet to find a frag this game. He has not been having the best time, and that won't change for round number 15. He's double James Bond at the moment. He is 0-0-14. 0-1 and 14, excuse me. He's no longer James Bond. 6th gear. They hear the top banana control being taken from R5 and most likely know that they're going to be trying to go for a quick ex-Recon in. They're using some util, falling back. I was going to say, is this a potential fake from them? But even if it is, I still think that isn't in their best interest. I think cancel, go B once more might be their best idea. They're walking up. They didn't use all their util, so they still have a couple of smokes to work with. Double mollies as well. And a flash up. That will begin the fight for a bomb site here. And Battery will be more than ready for the challenge here. 2 kills. He's done, again, more than what his job description provided. And he can just kind of sit on his laurels and wait for his teammates to do the rest. Joel's in a very sneaky position. Kind of a one-and-done position, to be completely honest. But it's going to be good for possibly even both kills here. There it is. The trade through as well. In 6th gear. They take a dominant hold on this game. Wow. I mean, what can you say about a game like this? Again, when you look at the HLTV stats, looks can be real deceiving. It's kind of important to mention that 6th gear are 0-4 in their past 4 matches. But then you actually look at the context, look at the teams that they were playing. You understand that they're up against some big dogs. Again, previously playing against Yak Gaming, playing against Team 1 and New England Whalers. All of those being teams that are at the top, the very top of MDL, if not beyond. Now, I'm not saying this is like your Furia. I'm not saying this is your Team Liquid, but they're knocking on their door at least. Small little halftime break before we see, again, possibly the conclusion of this action. I think it should be relatively obvious to say that 6th gear, they have a lot of wiggle room before they actually get into that throw territory of a game. That scary territory. And equally as obvious should be the fact that Recon 5 basically need to win this pistol. If they don't, consider the game just about over. It's nice to have a bit of a break, though. Go ahead and adjust a couple of things. All right. Again, if you're just tuning in, my name is Ito. I appreciate you all for watching. I'm not sure who is or how many people are, but just trying to be the best caster I can be. And I gotta say, you know, this is definitely the easiest way to learn how to cast one-sided games. I mean, 2 16-1s possibly is going to be on my MDL diet for tonight. And that's just absurd to think. Break is taking longer than I anticipated, I gotta say. takes much longer, I might just toss it to a little bit of music. I feel like now's the time where like ECA plays their their ads. And yeah, Frey, I mean, again, 2 16-1s. It's like sometimes games like this just happen, but my lord, I feel like the most biased caster in the world in favor of the winning team. But then you just go ahead and like look at this. Look at these shoddy score lines. It's just Joel's has died twice. It's just unbelievable. 4 players towards A and only 1 over towards Banana. Typical setup for what you see on the A site, or on the CT side rather, on a pistol. Seems like not even that much of a counter strat too. Kind of a general expectation of your weak points. Maybe Recon 5 aren't going to be quite ready for what 6 Gear have to offer though. They have been extraordinarily silent. I'm surprised that Recon 5 have decided not to budge off a bit at all. Nice little shot from Jet. That's a way to get on the board. But maybe he shouldn't peek for a little more here because he's kind of playing with death right now. He's dancing with danger. Whatever fancy phrase you want to try to attribute to it, that is what he's doing. And he will get punished for his sins. A crossfire still in place over towards mid. But I don't think 6 Gear want to try to temper the monster. A rotation from the T side. Now 6 Gear will try to aim towards the B bomb site. Losing another fight will be Joel's. I'll make it now 3 deaths that he has in this entire game, but at least his comrades are looking to avenge him. C4 looking to get planted right about now, and Wolf will try to take the initiative and take a fight over towards Coffin. He doesn't quite win it, but he manages to back up the CT for a little bit longer here. Awkward exchanges made from his teammate, and it's going to be left all up to Wolf against 1 player here. Has the right idea, actually, on where Fugly is. And that could have actually ended right there, but it doesn't. Fugly has the kit, has the shot, and has the round. The most important round of the entire game, and Fugly will win it. He has the experience. My boy from Arizona is delivering in spades. I can't get excited, man. That's only 1 round, and 6 Gear got that down to the very bitter ends where, to be honest, this is possibly even a better scenario. Recon 5, obviously, they got to force up everything they can possibly hope for. You see an M4 in Fugly's hand. But there's an AK on 6 Gear. There's Galil's. There's a Tech 9, which probably is the most underwhelming of all those, as you might imagine. But the flash in, a little bit of a catalyst. This could easily swing the other way. Banana, hard fought for, a really nasty spray from Fugly. Doesn't quite amount to anything. Valens needs to try to extend for this M4 if he so possibly can, but he loses the 50-50. And that might be one of the final nails in the coffin once more. To borrow a phrase that I used previously, these are fights that Recon 5 can't afford to lose, but they keep on trying to face off time and time again. At least Jet is able to fell the bomb carrier, and he gets another one on top of it. He's gotten 3 kills so far this game, and all of them have been incredibly important. But now he has to do even better. 2 more to find. 12 HP. Kind of really hoping for a lot, I gotta say. 6 Gear are playing this pretty great too. Look at the util that they have. Smoke probably not even necessary a lot of the time. But they'll toss down a flash behind it for good measure. Jet peeking right past them, will lose immediately. That was exactly why I was so scared for 6 Gear to lose that first pistol. They got the bomb down, they made it down to a 1v1. They were never out, they were never in the clear. Possibly one of the final hurrahs, if not the final hurrah for Recon 5, or ex-Recon 5, I should say. With pistols and a single FAMAS to kind of really bet your hopes on. Well, I'm hoping that you placed a low bet. Jaspimp certainly had high expectations on what he could get done with the Deagle. Same story with Valens, but both of them feed right into this absolute monument, really, that is known as 6 Gear. It's Fang against the world. and the world will easily win over him. So at least it wasn't a double 16-1 today. It was a 16-2. It's not much better. It really isn't. I'll be honest. For my second day of MDL, I gotta say that was a pretty hard way to get started. It wasn't the easiest games. And I felt really biased, one-sided at a lot of points. But hey, this is what the next big caster sort of challenge is here for, so I can be a better and better caster as time goes by. I appreciate you all for watching. That's going to do it for me tonight. I'm just going to go ahead run a couple of ads. If you enjoyed this, please feel free to follow me on my Twitch or my Twitter. Both are at EatsOKP. Not sure if anyone who doesn't already do that is watching right now, but hey, if you aren't, decide to give that a go. And also feel free to subscribe. I should be back tomorrow with a little bit more MDL action, and I hope to see you there alongside with me. Hopefully, it's not going to be 16-1 or 16-2, because those are incredibly hard to cast. Hope to see you soon. Have a good one. Later.